This video is sponsored by Guapkey. If you're looking for a reliable modded GTA account for PS4, Xbox One or PC, then this is the place to go. Their link is in the description below. Alright guys, how's it going? So today I've just got some scumbag Tryhard to expose. So this was about a week ago. I was just in a Nat-typed lobby with my friend. We were just chilling and doing some crates. And then after a while I noticed some other player had joined the lobby. And based off his character's mugshot in the top left and his gamer tag, he was obviously reasonably sweaty. Now at first I thought he was just some random player that got loaded into the lobby. But it soon became apparent that he didn't just get into the lobby by chance. He had obviously joined my friend deliberately through her crew. At this point here you can see he activated Ghost Organization. I didn't pay much attention to him before this. He seemed to be keeping to himself for the few minutes he was in the lobby, but obviously the minute he put Ghost on, I activated Ghost as well. Me and my friend were already in a CEO, so that was both of us off the map together. And then I just went into Los Santos Customs to get my car fixed, and then we just hid under this tunnel until the Ghost ended. And then about a minute after I activated Ghost, I received this text from him saying, "Are you going to protect a NOMA member?" And then once his Ghost ran out and he was back on the map, I saw that he was in a jet. So I just stayed in this area by the river where there were plenty of bridges to shelter from jets. At this point I fired the old mic up and got my friend in the party just to explain to her what was going on in case she didn't already know. So there is going to be a bit of live commentary from now on. Yeah, this kid's after you.
After me?
Yeah, the kid in the lobby. He texted me, well, he activated Ghost, so I put it on, and then he texted me and said, "Are you gonna protect a NOMA member?"
What?
What's he on about? I know. Do you even know who he is?
No.
Yeah, well, he obviously just doesn't like you because of the crew that you're in.
Unless it's someone that does not like me, it's his crew or something, but I have no idea. But if he's after me, then oh god, here we go.
There isn't a jet. So you don't even know who he is?
Nope.
Jeez, how did he get in the game then? Has he got
No
you added as
idea.
a friend maybe? So at this point, after only a few bombing runs, he crashed obviously because he's a moron. There were many others. It would say that if they have you added. Oh my Christ, he's just crashed. So I just told my friend to take my car and just get out of here while I fight the kid. Right, I'll clap his cheeks. Do you want to drive my car and just get out of here? I wouldn't hang about if I was you. So with him being a CEO, as well as the fact that he was using a jet and obviously had no interest in a clean fight, I was using BST and I got him once here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just hide. And then he was on the motorway above me, so I just shot a rocket at the ceiling so it would get him through the ground. That is quite an effective way to kill people actually. If you're in multi-story parking lots or somewhere where they're a level above you, you can shoot a rocket at where they are and you can get them through the floor quite easily. He's an idiot.
Wonder why he wants me though.
Yeah, it's because of the crew that you're in. And then it spawned him quite far away at this point. I did manage to get one shot off on him, but then he ran behind the wall. He's obviously got a bit of a grudge against your crew for whatever reason.
I actually think I might know who it is. Yeah. Because kid that used to be in our crew, he got kicked out several times. And he's tried chatting me up. Like, he tried messaging me loads of times and I've just like completely knocked him down.
Oh, he was trying to chat you up?
Apparently, so.
Really? What was he saying?
He tried to get me, so I just like knocked him down. Like he's just saying, "Oh, do you want to join my thing and all, like my lobby?" Because I wanted to do.
Oh, so he was simping over you.
Money. He's trying to be simping basically.
Yeah, so he's a simp then. So I pushed him with the grenade launcher, but he got me here with a rocket.
Yeah, so I just basically knocked him down.
That explains a lot.
And then I said like, come on the bike.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, she's saying that this guy used to be in the crew that she's in, and he got kicked out for killing fellow crew members. And from what she said, I believe he used to message her simping over her and trying to hit on her. So her turning down his advances, as well as him getting kicked out of the crew, left him with this grudge. And it's pretty funny that there's that sexual frustration element of it. Just it's the cherry on top, really. And you know what some of these incels can get like when they get rejected by girls.
Because he basically called me a slug to Adam.
And then obviously right after this he just requested his oppressor and went back for my friend, who as you can see was a decent distance away. She had taken my car and driven away from the area. But the kid obviously had a grudge against her because of the crew she was in, and he didn't have any interest in fighting me. And obviously my friend is not a tryhard. She doesn't take the game seriously at all, and she has next to no fighting ability. She's just a grinder. So obviously rather than fighting me, the virgin just gets his oppressor and goes to try and take the easy option, just completely dodging fighting me and just just wants to go and kill her. So I told my friend obviously to get out the car so that he couldn't lock onto her, and I just told her to just keep blowing herself up, because obviously if she was to fight him he would beat her easily, and that's obviously what he was after, so we were just trying to prevent him from getting those kills that he was after so badly. He was calling you a slag. Oh, he's going for you! Look at him, he's not- wait, get out the car, get out the car. I'm gonna get my oppressor there.
Kid, that's
Fuck off, Bella. So I got my oppressor here and I went and got him a third time. Alright, there we go, I got him. And then at this point my friend just left because she didn't want to get involved with this immature bollocks. Pretty much right after she left, he just went on the pause menu, and he was on there for about 40 seconds, and then he just left. Like I said, he had no interest in fighting me, it was just her that he was after, so since she left, he had no reason to stick about. So then that was pretty much that. I wasn't going to make a video on it, as it was obviously way too short to make a video on. Like, the fight alone consisted of only a few kills. So I just kind of got on with the session, and then about 15 minutes later, the party just disconnected out of nowhere, and at pretty much the exact same time, it said she'd left the game. At the time I thought I had just lagged, because as you can see here it just said party encountered an error, and it often says that if your internet fucks up a bit, like the party can just disconnect like that. I tried making a new party but it just wasn't working, so at first I just thought it was the internet fucking up, so I just restarted my Xbox, and when it came back on it said connect to Xbox Live here, and it was completely offline. As most of you know, I'm currently staying at my dad's where the internet isn't great, but it very rarely just dies like this. And then after a few minutes went by I started to think that maybe it was that guy, maybe he booted me offline. Because I mean the timing was a bit weird, you know, like 5-10 minutes after he leaves, my internet's gone. And at the time I was messaging my friend's boyfriend who plays with us sometimes, and was explaining to him what was going on, and telling him that I've possibly been booted offline. And I was starting to piece it together a bit at this point, and I was thinking about how the guy was on the pause menu for like 50 seconds before he left. And I was starting to think back to an experience I had a year ago where I got booted offline. I made this video on it here, and this was the guy who booted me and my friend offline in the video. I didn't show it in the video, but he was at this location at Humane Labs, and he's not paused at the moment. I didn't include it in the video, but at the time I remember I kept checking the map to see what he was doing, and he was on the pause menu for like 3 or 4 minutes straight at Humane Labs where he is now, and he was just stood still on pause for like 3 or 4 minutes right before we both got booted offline. You know, so I drew that connection between the person being on the pause menu for a considerable length of time and then the internet going straight after. So that connection was what made me start thinking that the guy had booted me offline. I mentioned it to my friend's boyfriend, and he said this, which I think sums it up quite well.
And the reason for him being in pause menu is because he'll be typing in your gamer tag, grabbing your IP, putting your IP into a laptop and booting you offline.
And obviously I don't know the first thing about booting people offline, as I've never been depraved or sad enough to even consider doing that to someone else in a game, but I think that is a fairly accurate description. I don't know what they do, but it's something on the pause menu. They can access your IP address or something and then boot you offline that way. And like I said, the internet isn't great here, but it never just dies like this. And on the rare occasion when it has died, it's come back again very quickly. I usually would just turn the router off for about a minute and then just turn it on again and it would be fine. When it dies, it comes back very quickly. Usually just turn it off and on again, or wait a couple of minutes and it comes back on. But at this point it had been about 10 minutes and the Wi-Fi was still down, and I started remembering the way I got disconnected as well. So the way it just like really lagged out, and it just kind of froze and lagged. So the party and the game both like lagged out at the same time, which was similar to what happened that other encounter I had about a year ago. And just the way it hadn't completely died, like the Xbox hadn't gone completely offline where the messaging bit, all the icons along the top where they're like greyed out, it wasn't disconnected like that, but it was like completely frozen. So I was inviting my friend back to the party, and where it says start a party here, that was like greyed out, but it wasn't actually doing anything. So it was just greyed out like this for ages, and then it said party encountered an error, and that was just greyed out, and it wasn't coming back. And here when I tried to load up my messages, it just was not loading up. And then as you can see here now from the video a year ago, the same thing happened. When I was trying to load up messages and stuff, it was just endlessly loading, and it was just completely frozen in lag. And then after a few minutes then it said connect to Xbox Live, and it was completely offline at that point. And when the internet dies, it all goes off at the same time. It doesn't do that. It doesn't just go really laggy and then the game and the party fucks up and then it disconnects. When the internet goes, it just cuts off. It just says connection to Xbox Live has been lost, and then you press home and all the icons, like the messaging one and the ones of your friend list, like that's all grayed out. You can't even access them. So that's what it does when the internet dies. But the way it just did this, and this was exactly the same, like that's what made me draw this conclusion. If I hadn't had this experience a year ago where the same thing happened, I probably wouldn't have thought that happened. But just the whole time I was just remembering about the incident a year ago and how like identical this was to what happened then. So that's pretty much how I knew I got booted. So I can't remember exactly how long the internet stayed down for. I think I restarted my router about 2 or 3 times, so I would turn it off, leave it for a good minute, and then turn it back on again. I think I did that about 3 times, and then each time when it would come on it just was not working. And then I used a pencil to push the little reset button and hold that until it resetted, and that did fuck all as well. So all in all, I think the internet was probably down for about an hour. But the last time I got booted offline was a really bad one. That happened in July of 2020, so about 7 or 8 months ago. That was a really, really bad one. The internet was completely fucked. Like, it was just completely gone, and it was completely out of action for about 4 or 5 days. And I was living at my dad's then as well, and that's what pisses me off the most, is how I'm living at my dad's, and this is happening to my dad's internet. You know, I wouldn't really give a shit if I was in my own place and it was my own internet that it was happening to, because then it would just be affecting me, and that's fine, I can deal with that. But my dad is a university lecturer, and because of the virus he's having to give all his lectures and stuff online. I mean, with the virus it's like that for a lot of people. Most people probably are doing pretty much all their work online, so that's what makes it worse now. You know, getting booted offline before the pandemic wasn't really half as bad, and like I said, if I had my own place and it was my own internet, it would be fine. Well, it would be annoying, obviously, but it pisses me off the most how it's actually affecting my dad's job. Like, that's so fucked up. Like, that just makes it so much more scummy. I mean, it's gonna be like that with most people. I mean, most people that these idiots are gonna boot offline, they're not gonna be just like single people just living on their own. It's not like they're just fucking up that one person's ability to use the internet. They're gonna be fucking that person's whole family over, essentially. And obviously with the internet gone, I can't play GTA, and it's gonna be pretty much fucking up my dad's job, which is just so fucked up. Like I said, I can handle the impact it has on me, and obviously it's never going to be more than a day or something, because you can just phone your internet provider and get your IP address changed and they can sort it out. That is if restarting your router doesn't work. Often you just turn your router off for a few minutes and turn it on again and it will be okay. I've been booted offline before and I've just turned the internet off for 5 minutes and then put it back on and it's fine. But sometimes you do get a really severe one, like the one that happened back in July, and literally the internet was down for about 3 or 4 days. My dad had to phone the internet provider and get it sorted out, and it took ages. Fortunately, as part of my phone contract, I have unlimited data, so I was able to just put my phone's hotspot on and my dad could just connect his laptop to my hotspot so he could still give his lectures and stuff online. But obviously, if I only had a few gigabytes a month of data, that would barely last a day. Like, that would not be a long-term fix, and even with unlimited data, that's not really a long-term solution. It's just so fucked up. These idiots have nothing better to do than just sitting about on a game being an absolute cunt to people for no reason. Basically just temporarily fucking up me and my dad's ability to earn money, which is just so messed up. This is literally like the scummiest thing you can do. It's just so far beyond immature, it's not even funny. Like, what purpose does it serve? What's the point in doing it? You're literally just being a prick to be a prick. And even if you're doing it to someone for what you think is a justifiable reason, there's no justifiable reason for doing this. I don't care how much somebody's wronged you, you don't do this. And considering how I hadn't even done anything to this kid either, apart from just protecting my defenseless friend. But even if I had done stuff wrong to him, that's still no justification to do that. There's no provocation that warrants doing this. It's just so petty and stupid, and not to mention illegal. Somebody actually went to prison for 2 years for booting somebody offline, so it's no joke. But either way, I just wanted to show this encounter, spread awareness of this topic, and just give my thoughts on it. If you enjoyed this video or agree with what I said, make sure to leave a like as it helps me out. Subscribe if you're not already, and have a class day, mate.